Hey everyone, this is GM with another product. This is GOFREETECH's MK600 mechanical keyboard. This keyboard is ridiculously awesome for the price. It has anti-ghosting 87 keys, N-key rollover, great backlight, which I'll go over later in detail. It is mechanical, so you'll get a tactile feedback. High precision, high quality, and durable. It has gold-plated USB connector, dual-shotted injected molded keycaps. It's sweat resistant, spill proof, no driver needed, just plug and play. It uses brown switches and it works on Windows, Linux, Macs, and Chrome. So in the box you get the keyboard, of course. You get the charging cable, well, it's not really a charging cable, it's more like the cable you need to use if you ever want it to work. You have the instruction manual, and then you have a keycap removal tool too. So I just wanted to go ahead and point out the keyboard does use brown switches. I did mention that before, but if you don't know what that means, I can give you a basic idea based on the research I've done. So brown switches have a much lighter sound when you press them. So you've probably heard mechanical keyboards should make a loud click sound. This one makes a very light sound, so I'll go ahead and press a couple keys. So that's very light compared to most mechanical keyboards. It'll depend on the switches, of course. So this one will be softer, which is nice if you don't want a noisy keyboard that'll keep up your roommate or something. However, you still get the tactile bump feeling based on the design. It also requires less force to actuate the keys. So I like that the keyboard's wire is detachable. So here it is. It's a micro USB to USB. That's great because you can use any micro USB to USB cable if anything happens to the one it came with, that is. And I did try this and it worked perfectly fine. I tried it with a couple different cables I had that are micro USB to USB. And this one seems to be about 6 feet long. I didn't actually measure it out, but it's taller than I am, so it doesn't have a secondary number keypad, which isn't a big deal for me since I never really use one anyways, so it saves on space. I'm going to show you the bottom real quick, so I'm going to flip this over. So the bottom has very nice grips right here, right here, right here, and right here, and what I just put down were the stands, which actually have their own grips that are very strong as well. So you don't have to worry about, it slipping around everywhere while you're using it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around again. So the keyboard itself isn't actually that big. It is 14.9 inches by 4.9 by 1.1, and maybe a bit over 1 pound, so it's really light. It would be perfect if you want to travel with it. So I wanted to show you where you'd plug it in real quick. You should be able to see right there is where the micro USB point goes in. So there we go. And like I said, it doesn't require any driver. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the light, so it might be a little easier to see it light up. Alright, so I went ahead and adjusted the camera and the keyboard so you can see a little bit better. Honestly, there's so much going on, I hope I don't forget to mention anything, but I'll go through what at least I think is important, and pretty much I'm trying to go over everything, if I can remember it all. So, to start, I'll go through the 13 backlight modes. That's right, I said 13. That's a lot for a keyboard, and that just means you won't get bored with it quickly. So, to change them, you press Function and Insert, which you can't tell right now probably, but it has a little M in a box. So that's how you can tell that it, pretty much the M stands for mode. So I'm not going to tell, when I'm going over these, I'm not going to say what's in the little boxes, just because you can't really see them that well anyways. So yeah. So here we have, it pretty much changes to all different colors, and then it starts pulsing with those same colors going. Press it again, and it will all turn into one color, and then it's not really a pulse now, but it's more of it weaves through the different colors. And now wherever I press, it's going to shoot out pretty much a line of colors. And it'll be different every time. So if you look at where I'm pressing, this time it was pink, that time it started off as purple, blue. So each one will be a different color every time you press it. So let's press that again. And now it's pretty much a snake mode, so the colors will snake back and forth. And now this one, it's still not a pulse. It's kind of like the one before where it was kind of a wave, but before the wave was one solid color changing all at once. This one is all rainbow changing all differently. It's really nice to look at. And now wherever I press, it's going to pulse outward from there. So it's kind of like when I did the whole line thing before, where it pulsed out in a line. This one pulses out everything instead. Let's see, what's the next one? And now this one is I I call it spotted, where it just kind of changes a couple different keys colors randomly throughout the keyboard. And now it is just a solid rainbow of colors. And now it's going to snake downward and upward. And now it's going to be pretty much the rainbow changing colors from the corner going down and up. And now wherever I press, it will light up. And it'll light up a different color each time. So if you're looking, you can see it's kind of changing different colors every time I press it. And now this one kind of looks like the pulse, except it's more of a wave. So it starts off in like one spot and goes outward from there. And now it's back to all one color. And so if I press function and M again /insert, it will just go through all the modes one more time. So you can change the backlight color by pressing function and delete. And this is when it's like all one solid color. So now it's going to be the rainbow. Now it's going to be red. Oh, sorry, it wasn't really a rainbow before. It's more of like random, but I call it rainbow just because it is a plethora of different colors. So red, oops, wrong buttons. Green, blue, well, this is dark blue, yellow, pink, light blue, and then it says this is white, but to me it looks a little bit more pinkish, but I can see, like, it really doesn't make that much of a difference, honestly. Okay, so now let's say you want to change the brightness. You would hold function and either up or down arrow keys. So right now it's at max, and you know that because these two are flashing. What these two lights are the caps lock and the scroll lock. So it's just to let you know that, but it also lets you know when you've hit a maximum of whatever. So here's down one, and if you see, it kind of pulses outward from the center when it is going down or up. So now it's down one more, and that's the minimum it can go with the light still being on. So I'm going to go ahead and max that out again. My camera is adjusting whenever the light changes, so it might be a little hard to tell at times. So then you can also turn off the backlight by pressing function, the PS button up here, and you can tell that it's an off button pretty much. Oh, and then to turn it back on, you press function and escape to turn it all back into one color. Alright, so there's also this one other function for if you're in like the mode. So let's say you're on this mode, so it's pulsing, right? It's let's say you want it to go a little faster. What you do is you press function and the right arrow key, and it also switches the colors, but that won't happen with every mode. So now you can see it's starting to pulse a little faster. I'm just going to max out, so it's maxed out, and it's now pulsing about every 1 second. Now let's put it all the way down to the minimum. Now it pulses maybe every 3 seconds. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's how you can also change then pretty much the effects. So let me find another one. Here's a good one. So here's the slowest it can go across, and now you can see it's just going like crazy all the way across. So that's a really neat feature to have. And you know, I went to the max and the mins, but you don't have to. You can go one at a time, get exactly the speed you want. So I just hit the minimum for that. But yeah, that's a really neat feature to have. And then this one's one of my favorites, so it's changing really quickly all around. So, you know, that's a pretty fancy thing to have on a keyboard. Let me go ahead and just turn it all back to one color. So now, if you're a gamer, this next function is really helpful. So let's say you want to have a certain game, certain keys lit up for a certain game. Well, you can do that. So how it works is the numbers 1 through 5 have, when you first get the keyboard, preset key light up. So let me show you what I mean. So if you press function and 1, you'll see only the keys for a first-person shooter game, or what the manufacturers think are a first-person shooter game are. Then function 2, those are going to be for CF, 3, Call of Duty, 4, League of Legends, and then 5, QQ Race. So you can actually change all of these to whatever you want, and you can adjust which colors you want for each key. So that's really neat. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So what you do is you press function and home. You probably can't tell what it says here, but the home one is between the insert and the page up. So home. So now you see everything went black except for these two lights to let you know that you're pretty much in the mode to adjust everything. So let's say the only keys you need are WASD. So you see they're all different colors, right? Well, let's say you want them all to be the same color. So let's say red. So you just press it again, and it'll cycle through each color until you get to red. So you get the idea. So you can do this for all of them. So I'm just going to press like every single key. Pretty much like that. So you can have them set to however you want. You can have whatever colors you want for each key. That's really helpful, especially for certain games that you play. I do this for most of the games I play nowadays. It makes it a little easier because then sometimes when I'm in the middle of a game and I just kind of get a brain freeze, like or mind block, I just can't remember which key does what. So I can this way I can eliminate all the keys that I don't even use in that game. So that's really nice to have. So let's say I want to set it like this. What you do is you press function again and home, and now it's set. And then just to show you, press function 4. That's what's set on 4. But then on 5, here's what I have now set as my new 5. Looks like a mess right now, but you can get exactly what you need for your game. So it's a really handy thing to have. I definitely recommend a keyboard that can do this if you're really into gaming. It's also good for if you have for the office, you can always set all the letters and numbers into one color, so you can have all these numbers as red, all these centers into blue, all these commas and everything into purple. So you can color code everything. So that was bothering me a bit, so I went ahead and just went back to what I have as all lit up. And so people always ask me how well a keyboard works on games. So I tried this one on Paladins, League of Legends, Rocket League, and Counter-Strike. I found it worked very well on all of them. It definitely made a big difference compared to using my laptop's keyboard. My performance was greatly aided by the keyboard. It also felt nicer using this keyboard during games since it is a mechanical keyboard. And I'm not going to do a typing test because it's not that helpful in my opinion to watch me type with this keyboard on video. So yeah, I'm sorry if that disappoints you. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. The link to this product is in the description below. If you have any questions, leave a comment below or tweet me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for joining me.